Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to do a comparison video. We're going to compare two BB58 Homage watches, the San Martin SN0008C versus the Pagani Design PD1671 version 2. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Addis Dive 2055. I just unboxed this, so if you haven't seen the unboxing video, go check it out. And Greg was wearing my Addis Dive AD 2054. I showed Grogu the movie George of the Jungle on Disney Plus, and he said that movie wasn't realistic at all. Grogu said toucans live in Americas and shouldn't be in Africa. I said, you're worried about the toucan. What about the talking ape? He said he thought it was a short Wookiee. All right, here are the two watches. Let's take a look at them. Now, I said they are homages to the BB58. But actually, both of these watches are more closer in size to the BB41. The only thing that makes them BB58 homages is the fact that they have blue dials, where the 41 has a black dial with a blue bezel for the blue variant. But here they are. So let's start with the price. At the time of this comparison, the San Martin is $141.75. That's the cheapest I could find it on AliExpress. And this Pagani Design is $69.67. So we're basically, this one is twice as much as this one. And I'll tell you right away, this is a better watch. So what this comparison is doing is I'm letting you decide whether or not it's worth it to spend twice as much money on this watch than this watch. Now, if money was no object, I would say get the San Martin. But then again, if money was no object, I would say buy the Tudor. So money is an object. So let's go over both of these watches. Let's take a look at the containers. The San Martin comes in this hard plastic case. San Martins always used to come in this case, but lately they've just been using it for their budget line. And this is their budget line. And one thing though, the San Martin came with the whole set of tools. And the Pagani Design did not come with a set of tools. It did come with a cleaning cloth, however. Sometimes Pagani Design does include a small screwdriver, but this time they did not. So it's kind of sporadic. So no tools this time. So let's get the boxes out of the way. Now let's go over the dimensions. The San Martin is 40.9 millimeters at the bezel, and the Pagani Design is 42.2 millimeters at the bezel. So the Pagani Design is 1 millimeter wider. Once again, though, these are more closer to the dimensions of a BB41. The BB58 that they're supposed to be homaging is a 39 millimeter watch. Lug to lug is about identical, 49.4 versus 49.7. Thickness, though, is a big difference. The San Martin is only 12.1 millimeters thick, and the Pagani Design is a whopping 15 millimeters thick. So there's a huge difference in thickness. This has a 20 millimeter lug width, and this has a 22 millimeter lug width, so that's a big difference. And this weighs 141 grams with 2 links removed, and this one weighs 169 grams with 3 links removed. So there's a big difference in weight also. Let's take a look at the bezels. The San Martin has a ceramic 120 click unidirectional bezel. A real black base is aluminum, so ceramic is a kind of an upgrade. So if you're looking for authenticity, this is not it. But the action's wonderful. Really good action. Just the right amount of resistance. Enough resistance so you won't knock it out of place, but not too much that it's hard to turn. Solid clicks, no back play, and everything lines up. So yeah, good bezel. The Pagani Design has a 90 click unidirectional, and the action is not near as good. The clicks are mushier, and there's a lot more resistance. It's more difficult to spin. Now, there is no back play, but things don't line up so good either. Now this does have an aluminum bezel though, which is closer to the real Tudor. Then we look at the dials. They're both a flat blue, but as you can see, the color of blue is totally different. The San Martin is much bluer, and this is a much lighter blue. I really like the color of the San Martin much more than the Pagani design. That was one of my complaints about the Pagani when I reviewed it, was the shade of blue. They both have their logos applied up top. Then on the bottom, the San Martin says automatic 200 meters. And the Pagani design says UGS, which means Upgrade Grand Series. I wish they would have came up with a better acronym than UGS. Then it says automatic 10 bars. You get twice the water resistance on the San Martin than the Pagani. Then they both have applied indices, and they're very similar. And they both have the snowflake hour hand, snowflake second hand, and fence post minute hand. And they both have a chapter ring with minute markers. And neither one has a date, but they both have an NH35, so they both have a ghost date. So they should have done an NH38, which doesn't have a date, but then again, that probably would increase the cost. I understand they sell so many NH35s, they probably get a bulk discount on them. So it would be more expensive to put an NH38 in there. I don't mind a ghost date, I don't care. It would be different if I was spending thousands of dollars on one of these watches. They both have signed screw-down crowns. And as you can see though, the Pagani design has a red stripe at the base of the crown. This red stripe looks great on their red watch and their black watch, but it just looks really bad on their blue watch, and I wish they would get rid of it, but they don't. This is the version 2 and they still have it, so maybe they'll get rid of it on the version 3. Crown action's fine on both of them. They unscrew nicely, pop nicely, then screw back in easily. I like the thread action on both of them, no complaints there. The Pagani design crown is a hair bigger and a little bit easier to use. And then they both have dome sapphire crystals. And I don't know if either one has AR coating or not, but I would say the reflection's about the same. So the Pagani design, the crystal sticks out a little bit more, which attributes to its 15 millimeter thickness. And then we have the cases. As you can see, the cases, the Pagani is so much thicker than the San Martin, but they're similarly shaped other than the thickness. And they're both brushed with polished chamfered edges. So they're both really nice cases. It's just, it would be nice if the Pagani wasn't so thick. Then it's kind of hard to tell the difference between finish work. Once again, this is not a premium San Martin. This is their budget line, so the finishing is not going to be quite as nice as their nicely finished premium models. Then we have the case backs. The Pagani has a display case back that's a screw down that has normal notches that you can use any old wrench. And the San Martin though has a coin edge that's not a display. So you need a coin edge tool to open it. So I'll give the points to Pagani over this one. I don't like coin edge. It's just a pain to have the right size tool. And in this case, you need a 28.3 millimeter. Underneath both watches is the NH35 movement. This is the go-to movement for automatic watches in this price range. It's a 24 joule 3 hertz movement that hand winds hacks and has a bidirectional rotor and about a 40-hour power reserve. And so I guess it's a tie there. I won't put them on the time grapher just to save time. You can go look at the individual reviews and when I did put them on the time grapher. Then we have another big difference is the bracelets. The San Martin just has a 3-link oyster style, and it has a pin and collar system for adjusting, which is quite a pain to use because you really have to pound the pins out, and then you have to put the little collar in and pound them back in. The Pagani, though, has screw pins. Another thing, the Pagani has these faux rivets, so it looks a little bit closer to the real Tudor, and this one does not. And also, the Pagani design has these little edges here, which are fully individual links that are polished, so it gives it a little accent. And then we have the clasps. They're both milled, but the San Martin has 4 holes of micro adjust, but it doesn't have on the fly adjustment. The Pagani only has 3 holes of micro adjust, and it does have a diver's extension. The San Martin does not. So the trouble with this diver's extension, though, it takes up so much room in the clasp. That's why you only have 3 holes of micro adjust. If they didn't have this diver's extension, they probably could have put a few more in there. But once again, neither one has on the fly adjustment. Here is a San Martin on my 7.5-inch wrist. It looks nice. It wears nice. Really good looking watch. And I removed 2 links to fit on my wrist. And it's on the very last micro adjust going out, though. I didn't move it in at all micro adjust. I could have just removed 1 link and moved it in all the way in the micro adjust. And here's the Pagani design on my 7.5-inch wrist. It's a big watch, but it fits comfortable. And since the bracelet's a little bit wider, the weight is a little bit more evenly distributed. So it's not really top heavy. I removed 3 links and actually moved it in 2 holes of micro adjust. So this will fit much bigger wrist than the San Martin. Of course, if you ordered the San Martin, you can probably ask for extra links. Here we are in the Lume room. This is a Lume comparison and not a Lume contest because there is no contest. Anyone familiar with either brand knows that a San Martin will always crush a Pagani design. As we speed up the time, we see the blue glow of BG59 on the San Martin and the green glow of C3 on the Pagani design. And as you can tell, the San Martin is just smoking the Pagani design. Everything is looking really good on the San Martin. The Pagani design, however, the hands are already about gone, and the indices are not doing very well either, and you can't even see the Lume pip anymore. So the San Martin is just so much better. So if Lume is an issue for you, then the San Martin is definitely worth the extra cost. What does the Pagani do better than San Martin? Well, it has screw pins instead of pin and collar. I don't like pin and collar at all. Personally, I wish they both had push pins, but that's not the case on either one of them. So I say the Pagani wins on the pins. I like the fact that the Pagani has a display case back that you can use a normal wrench to open it. I like the fact that the Pagani design has these rivets that look a lot more like the real Black Bay. And of course, the Pagani design is half the price of the San Martin. What does the San Martin do better than the Pagani design? Lume, not even close there. The San Martin's a couple millimeters thinner. It's about 20 grams lighter. And I like this color of blue much better than the Pagani design. And it has no stupid red stripe on the crown. Although I do say that the Pagani design, the crown is easier to use. And what's about a tie? Well, they both have an NH35 with a ghost date. So there you have it. The San Martin and the Pagani design. The San Martin is twice as much than the Pagani design. It is clearly a better watch, but is it worth twice as much? That's up to you. But I think they're both great watches, and I like them both. Unfortunately, I can't keep all the watches I review, so I'm going to be selling both of these right now. Well, thank you for watching my comparison video of the San Martin SN0008C versus the Pagani Design PD1671 version 2. And I will be back with another review. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like either one of these watches, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a small commission. Bye.